Secretary Roger Altman, also the founder and chairman of Evercore Partners, and served in President Clinton's Treasury Department as well. Roger, good to have you back. Good evening.
Hi, Carl. How are you?
Good. I can't count the number of tweets, at least, that just talk about the lack of energy from the president. Are you disappointed in him tonight?
No. I just focus on what each candidate said. And it probably won't surprise you, Carl, but I don't agree at all with the thrust of what you guys were talking about in terms of how specific Mr. Romney was. He wasn't specific at all. On his plan to cut the deficit, exactly what, folks, did he say? I think the answer is nothing. And his whole approach to tonight, which was to effectively disown a series of key proposals he'd been making for 18 straight months. My $5 trillion tax cut, and that's the number that everybody's been using,
Sure.
everybody. My $5 trillion tax cut, actually that's not my plan. Oh yes it is. My plan to repeal every element of Obamacare? No, that's not my plan. Yes it is. My plan to get rid of every aspect of Dodd-Frank, which he's been saying repeatedly, month after month, week after week, that's really not my plan. Yes it is. So it was rather an astonishing jujitsu on his part in terms of trying to get away from what has been the hallmarks of his whole campaign.
Roger,
and then in terms of, Maria, your point about his plans were so specific. They're not specific, they're slogans. We're going to have energy independence. Really? How? We're going to increase trade. How? We're going to invest in education. What's your plan? Those aren't plans, those are slogans.
What plan did you get from the president? What specifics did we hear tonight from the president?
Well, President Obama, we all know, has been in office for nearly 4 years. Let's take education. Race to the top, focusing $3 billion on the worst performing schools. He's been very specific. And by the way, on education,
Roger, in terms of job creation and cutting the deficit, which I think are the two important issues that voters care about right now, where do you see the specifics from the president's plan on job creation and on cutting the deficit?
Maria, very simple. On jobs, let's just look at the record. There have been 5 million jobs created, private sector jobs created, over the past 30 months. And we have been coming steadily up, we all know that, from the edge of catastrophe when President Obama took office and the country was right on the verge of another Great Depression. But 30 consecutive months of private sector job creation, it's right there to see. He has been doing it. And Governor Romney, in my view, didn't supply a single specific on how he's going to do it. He said, we're going to create 12 million jobs over the next 4 years. A whole slew of economists, by the way, both Republican and Democratic and independent economists, project that the American economy is going to create at least that number of jobs on its own. That's not a plan.
Roger, appreciate your time. Sorry it's so limited tonight. Thanks for staying up late.
My pleasure.
Roger.